Hi everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel RatherBeReading, and today I'm bringing to you the Anything But Books tag. The Anything But Books tag was created by RatherBeReading. I will leave a link to the original video down below for you guys to check out. I wasn't tagged by anyone, but I kind of saw this tag and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. I'd love to do a tag where I'm not just talking about books and you kind of get to see more about me. I will say though, as I went through and tried to answer these questions, this was a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. I anticipated all the questions would just be like, favorite movie, favorite TV show, things like that. Some of these questions were really hard to answer, but let's jump straight in and see what my answers were. Question number 1 is name a cartoon or cartoons that you love. I don't have a definitive answer for this. There was no real cartoon that like jumped straight out as being my favorite. So I have 6 here that were kind of the first ones that I thought about that I remember really loving. We have Rugrats, a classic. I was born in the late 80s, but I'm a 90s kid. Like I grew up in the 90s. Captain Planet, again, loved old Captain Planet. Sailor Moon. I really enjoyed Sailor Moon. I got into Sailor Moon mainly because my brother used to put on the TV in the mornings before school so that he could watch Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z, and Sailor Moon used to kind of be on in that. I can't remember, I think it might have been on before or after, and I used to watch those so that I could see Sailor Moon like while he had it on. I also really loved Arthur, another classic. Real Monsters I really enjoyed, and Daria is another cartoon that I really love. Question number 2, what is your favorite song right now? I am not a huge music person. I do like music, obviously, are there people who don't like music? I'm not really sure. But I'm not like hugely into music or the way that a lot of people are. I don't really have favorite songs like the way I have like favorite movies and things like that. A song that I have listened to quite a bit recently though, that I don't know if I've listened to it, but like I kept kind of hearing it and I don't know why, because I don't even think it's like played that much on the radio, but it was stuck in my head, this song, for like a solid 2 weeks. Like I just could not get the lyrics of this out of my head, and that is Body Say by Demi Lovato. I think that's what the song's called, and like the main lyric that was stuck in my head, which is really appropriate to have stuck in your head, you can touch me with slow hands, speed it up, baby, make me sweat. So yeah, that is a song that I definitely had stuck in my head for a solid 2 weeks. Question number 3, what could you do for hours that isn't reading? This is probably not, it's a very typical answer, and that is watching movies and TV shows. I am a huge movie buff and like really into TV shows and stuff as well. I'm super behind on like every TV show. If you name a popular TV show right now, I haven't seen it, but I'm just really busy right now. I used to be like a hermit type person who like never left their house, and if me 4 years ago like looked on my life now, would be like, wouldn't believe that my life is what it is now. But I'm like hardly ever at home. But when I get solid time, like if I have a weekend where I don't need to leave the house, I can easily sit there and watch back to back movies. Like I can watch 5-6 movies in a sitting. No worries. I love doing it. When I lived in Canberra, I used to go to the local movie, DVD, video store, whatever you call it, and I would get 3 weeklies and 3 new releases. I would get a drama, a comedy, and a horror in new release and weeklies, and I would go home, I would get takeaway, I would come home, I would eat the takeaway, I would watch the dramatic movie first, I would then watch the horror movie, and I would then watch the comedy movie to like cleanse my palate. I would then go to bed. I would then go to the video store again the next day, return the overnight like new releases that I had out, and then come home, heat up the leftover takeaway. Normally I was living a really healthy life, obviously, and watch the drama, then the horror, then the comedy of the weeklies that I'd got out. That would normally take me to like mid-evening on like a Sunday evening, and I would then watch movies from my own DVD collection that I'd seen a million times because I was a really popular person with a really great life. But I could do that every weekend, not have a problem with it. I just love sitting, binging movies, binging TV shows. I love it. Now we're kind of getting into the questions where it became a bit more of a struggle to find answers to. Question number 4 is, what is something you love to do that your followers would be surprised by? I don't really know if there's anything that I do that anyone would be necessarily that surprised by. I've come up with 2 things that I thought I'd talk about. The first one is playing cards with my family. My whole family, with the exception of my dad, he doesn't play. We love playing card games. So very often, like every few weeks, like on a Saturday night, or if there's a long weekend on the Sunday night, like when we have a day off the next day, we will gather at my parents' place. We'll have dinner, like usually a barbecue or something. And then me, my mother, my brother, my brother's girlfriend, my sister, and my sister's husband, the 6 of us, sit around my parents' dining room table and we play cards. There's a variety of different games that we play, but we all just really love it. We love playing cards. We're all like competitive. We just love it. And yeah, it's a good time, and I really, really love those nights. The second thing I thought I'd mention is I really, really love watching 48 Hours. I am not really into any other like true crime shows that I can think of, but 48 Hours I just love. And it would be on like really late on like a Saturday night. There'd be episodes on at like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or midnight, and I would just love sitting there and watching it. And I used to have like a little like dance that I would do to like the old school intro, which I don't think they have anymore. My favorite presenter is Erin Moriarty, who one time I tweeted about 48 Hours and she liked my tweet. So it was a real highlight of my life, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, 48 Hours. If you love 48 Hours too, let me know, because I just really, really love that show. Question number 5. What is your favorite unnecessarily specific thing to learn about? Again, this is a really tough question. I'm not a huge learner, I guess. There's nothing, like I know people say like, oh, they're a history buff, or they're like, I don't really know, to be honest. I have decided to go with movie trivia. I am like known amongst people as being like a movie buff, and that I like know a lot about movies and things like that. But I freaking love, as soon as I finish watching a movie, I immediately go onto IMDb and read the movie trivia section on there. I get really upset if I'm watching like a older or like more obscure movie and there's no movie trivia. Oh, that really upsets me. I love finding out quirky little facts about what happened during filming, and they made this casting decision because of this and whatever. Oh, I love movie trivia. I love it a lot. Question number 6. What is something unusual you know how to do? These questions are so hard. I don't really know that there's anything that unusual that I know how to do. So I have hypermobility in my limbs, which is actually, I've talked about that I dislocated my knee last year, and when that happened, the physio was saying to me that they're actually surprised that I haven't had problems earlier because of the mobility and extension in my limbs. It's actually very common apparently for people to like dislocate limbs and stuff when they have this issue. I broke my arm when I was 2. And because of the age I was at when I broke my arm, they couldn't like put pins and like do things that they do often when people break limbs, because I was so young that I was at like such a growing stage, they just couldn't do it. So my arm wasn't pinned. So even though I have like hyper like mobility and like I'm quite like flexible and things like that, my elbow is particularly double jointed because it was broken and not like set properly or whatever when I was a kid. So I can kind of show you, like, I don't know if you can see there, my elbow is not like a normal elbow. I don't know if that's something unusual I can do. I can also fold my tongue in half, and I know like a lot of people can do this, and I don't just mean though I know a lot of people can do that. I can also fold my tongue in half this way. Is that unusual? I don't know. I can sometimes, it's like I can fold it, and sometimes I can hold it for a really long time, and sometimes it just kind of comes apart really quickly. I don't know, let's go again. Welcome to my unusual talents. Question number 7. Name something you've made in the last year and show us if you can. You guys, this is a tough tag. I am not crafty, like at all. I actually go to a knitting group with my sister on Monday nights. My sister is a massive knitter. I don't knit. I go purely for the food and the social interaction. I used to cross stitch when I was there, but that was more just to like be a part of the crafty things. I did like cross stitch in my youth, but I'm not really into it anymore. I still take my cross stitch with me every week. I hardly ever pull it out, and now they're doing like a quiz thing on Monday nights there, and we like participate in the quiz, and I'm just like all about the quiz. Like I'm the person who monitors the quiz and like puts in the answers on like a digital quiz. Anyway, so I'm not really crafty. I don't make a lot of things. The one thing I could think of was a potato bake, because I'm not into cooking. I don't like cooking. It's just something, I know some people really love it. I don't enjoy it. I just don't enjoy cooking. I really, really don't. But my sister was having some medical problems and she had recently had a surgery, and when my parents were having a barbecue, my sister always makes the potato bake, but she had literally just had surgery and she was recovering, so I offered to make it so that she didn't have to, and so I made that. It wasn't anywhere near as good as my sister's, and I didn't like pre-prepare the potatoes, which apparently you're supposed to do, but I didn't know that, so I didn't do that. But it was still alright, and it was edible, and I ate it, and it was enjoyable, and I got to take the leftovers home because I made it myself, so that was good. But that's literally the only thing I could think of. Question 8. What is your most recent personal project? Oh, these questions. I don't really have personal projects that I could think of. The one thing that I thought of, like other than the answer that I'm going to say in a second, was that I've talked about before that I have like my physical to read list where I write out all of the books that I want to read and I like write them out. And that was written in a really like old crappy like spiral notebook that was like falling apart, and it was all like messy and not like neatly written, and it all like crossed through and half pages and blah blah blah. And I did at one point, this is a while ago now though, I got a new beautiful spiral bound notebook, and I would sit there when I was just like watching TV or whatever, and I would sit there and I would write it out, rewrote out all like 34 pages of this to read list in my like most nicest handwriting, and I really love that now, and I love keeping it up. So that was kind of a personal project. The only other thing, and again this is probably something a lot of people say, is that I have been trying to get more into fitness. I don't know if I've ever specifically said on this channel, I play soccer. I'm part of like a women's team in my local area. My dad's actually our coach. My whole family's been heavily involved in soccer like my whole life, and when I dislocated my knee, which I did playing soccer, I obviously was recovering from that for quite a while, and even though I was never very fit, any fitness that I had during that recovery time was just completely like shot to shit. And the soccer season has recently started back up again. We're getting into preseason, things like that, and I've really been trying to work on my fitness a little bit more. It's something that I would really just like, even just like for my health, to try be a more fit person. It's not something I enjoy. I have at other times in my life like gotten into the gym, like tried, operative word tried, to get into like fitness and things like that. I just don't think it's ever going to be something that I enjoy. People say, oh, like, you know, once you get into it, like you just love it. I'm never going to love it. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. But I have been trying to get up in the mornings and just go for runs, not that long. It's like 20-minute, like a 2-kilometer type of thing that I'm trying to do it just like for my own. I think it does help me like in the mornings to like get up earlier and start my day like with exercise and just things like that. And it means that I have breakfast at home when I exercise, things like that. I think it's good for me, and it's something that I'm trying to do. It's very hit or miss. I have weeks where I don't run at all because I'm tired and I sleep through my alarm, or I'm busy. I've had things on really late, and so I don't want to get up early in the morning because I already leave the house at about 7:20 in the morning to catch my bus. And so to have enough time in the morning to go for a run, and then obviously I then have to shower and have breakfast, it just like I'm like have to get up at like 5:30 to have enough time to do that. So that's not something I enjoy doing, let's be honest. So I'm not a morning person, but it is something I'm trying to do, and I would really like to keep pushing with and try to make it a habit. So it's kind of a personal project, and I really went off into a huge rant, sorry. Question number 9, tell us something you think about often, maybe while staring out of windows. This is the one question, like I said, these questions were really hard, but most of them I managed to come up with an answer for. This one I just don't really have an answer for. I cannot think of any one thing that I like specifically think about a lot, other than just like generally my life. Like I think about my life or what's happening, or I'm thinking about work, or what am I going to do about this, or I don't know, is that like, I don't know if it's weird that I didn't have an answer to this, that I couldn't like come up with something specific. Like I'm always thinking about eating. Like, I don't know, like sometimes I think about eating, sometimes I think about work, sometimes I'm thinking about my family, sometimes I'm thinking about soccer, sometimes I'm thinking about what I'm reading or what I'm going to read next, or what am I going to do on the weekend. I just am like thinking about a whole lot of things. There isn't any one thing that I can think of that I think about more often than anything else, other than just life. Question number 10, give us something that's your favorite, but make it something oddly specific. Not like your favorite food, but like your favorite food when you've been studying for hours and forget to eat. This was tough as well. I actually thought about this question for a really, really long time. And my thoughts kept going to food, I think, because they just kept mentioning food in the question. And my favorite food to eat when I'm like having those like binge like movie sessions and stuff, and like that I loved to get like when I like was saying when I had those nights where I'd like hire all these movies and stuff, is hot chips, which I believe fries, like you call it fries in America. Oh, like that's basically my favorite. Anything potato based is basically my favorite. But the thing that I came up with that's a bit more like, I don't know, like a weird thing that I like doing sometimes is sometimes when I come home, I just like to sit in my car for like 10-15 minutes, like after I've parked and I've like turned the car off. Normally I'm like listening to an audiobook, or it's normally an audiobook, and I'll like turn the car off so the car like engine's off, but the radio like is still playing and the audiobook's still playing. And sometimes I sit there, I don't know why, sometimes I just sit there and listen for like another 10 minutes, even though I could just as easily listen on my phone once I'd moved inside. I don't know why I do it, but sometimes I just sit there and I like it. And sometimes I think that my neighbors are probably like see me pull in and then see me not get out of the car and wonder what the heck I'm doing. And actually just today I did this. I came home, I went to the library to pick up a couple of books. I sat in the car and like I came home, turned off the engine, was sitting in the car, and the audiobook was playing through the radio, and I was looking at my phone like while I was listening to the book, just sitting in my car. And I clicked onto Facebook and a video came up, and I like paused the audiobook, and then I was watching this Facebook video, like it was on my Facebook, and it was playing through the car, the audio, and I was watching this video, and it was this really like sad like motivational video. And I think I've said before, like I'm not like a real life like emotional cry person, but like anything like movies, Facebook videos, news reports, music videos, anything like that can make me cry at the drop of a hat. And I was watching this video and I was crying. I had like tears streaming down my face. And then I had to get out of my car after I finished that video, and I was thinking, if my neighbors are looking at me right now and I've just been sitting in my car for like 15 minutes and now I get out of my car, I've obviously been crying. I was wearing this shirt, it's like great. I actually had like tears, like where tears had dropped on my shirt, like wet tear marks on my shirt. I don't even know what my neighbors must think about me. But anyway, that is something weird that I like doing. And I don't know why I like doing it. And sometimes I think, what the hell are you doing? Just get out of the car. But I do enjoy doing it. And it did also say, lastly, say the first thing that pops into your head. So I wrote down literally the very first thing that came into my head as I was like writing out the answers, and that was carrots. I don't know why, but carrots. So that was the anything but books tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was like very random, but I feel like I did get to talk about like, obviously it wasn't talking about books, I just talked about a lot of like life things generally, and I hope that you feel like maybe you got to know me a little bit more, who knows. But I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to chat about any of my answers, or you have any answers to these questions, if things come to you like way more easily and you just think, oh yeah, like this, please let me know, because these questions were freaking hard to answer. Like I say, I thought like the first couple like cartoon, song, I was like yeah, but then it was like getting like really like deep, and I was like really struggling. So yeah, I would love to chat with you guys in the comments down below. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more from my channel. But that's all I've got for this video today. Bye guys!